meeting room now. So there's 12 of us. Let's get started. I think it's a good time to get started.
Yes, I also think that. So, yeah, before I even start talking like about why we need this ZK Keeper extension and everything, I just want to say like it's not just me. Tsukino was really helpful, and now I'm a bit out of it, and like Omar, Lagoy, and Nasi are doing great job on like fixing stuff, adding new features, and if they want to also talk about something later, they're welcome. So yes, one thing. Okay, I'll share my screen, and so I think like to understand why we need this, it's really nice to have like a potential security issue on Tornado Cache. So just tell me if everyone is seeing the screen or like if someone is not seeing the screen. So what's happening here? I don't know if everyone here is like familiar with Tornado Cache, but the idea is to have that anonymous, untraceable deposits and withdrawals. So I'm not going to talk about that today. I just want to show where potential issue can be. And that's happening like in the exact moment when you want to deposit something. So, okay, you have the option to store this note on your computer, like securely and everything like that. I'm not going to show that. So the potential problem can be here. I started depositing this note, and this note secret, you can refer to it as a private key for this particular protocol. There is like potential issue because it's displayed here in browser. And if I like try to inspect this element and see what's going on there, we can see that that node exists exactly here in this HTML. So if you somehow have any malicious software on your computer, like some library, some malicious extension, whatever, you can be a really good target for this. So in order to explain you what's going to happen, so every extension that is running has something like, okay, let me just go like Google. It should be enough. So if we look at what's going on here, every extension that you have, like here you can see ZK Keeper, you can see MetaMask and stuff like that, has something called injected script. And so every extension will inject some JavaScript code in your browser on every page. Okay, so the problem with that is that if we look here, you have that injected script here. And if you have any malicious software on your computer, what can happen is that someone will write the malicious code in this injected script, which will listen to event, like when you press deposit button, and they will just like take this secret from you. So even if you store it securely, do whatever you want, at the moment where you click and create this node, this private node, somebody can steal it. So this injected script can be really simple. It will just parse this HTML, take this private input, and send to some remote server. So the hacker will be able to to withdraw your money. So was this enough clear? What's the potential issue here? And like, what are we trying to solve? Okay, like if no questions, I'm just gonna continue talking. So now when we have this, the idea was to have like secure extension. And what can extension give us? So I'm not gonna dive a lot into how extension is working, but there is like two main parts of the extension. There is something called background process, and you have this injected script, which is like middleware between what's running in the browser, and it helps that the browser code is communicating with that background process. So uh, again, not gonna go dive deep there, but like that background process has another context of this browser process. So it has its own memory, its own references, everything like is decoupled from browser. So the only way to communicate with that background process is by sending messages between this like front end pages in browser and that background page. And that's why we use this injected script. So they're like bridge, and only thing that had happened is like just to exchange messages with your background process. So from this point where I stand, I cannot reference memory of the background process. I cannot take any state of it. I can just listen to some message of background process. And it's really important because if we can hide some stuff in the background process, then we should be much more secure than doing anything here, like on the front end of the browser, to say like that. So the ZK Keeper, I was trying to build it as like really similar to what MetaMask is doing. It's just simpler because we don't have that many features for now. And I'm gonna give you like a fast walkthrough how it works and what it gives us. So there is like the first and main the main goal of it is to be more secure, and also it should enable people to integrate easier with our protocols. So imagine like for every dApp you must create, you if you need to like write some code to handle signing transactions and all the blockchain stuff, which MetaMask or other wallets really abstract for you in a nice way. So the main part here is to like remember that we have this background process and this front end side, and we can just exchange messages between those two, and nothing can like reference its memory. So what we should do is to instantiate our private keys or like private data, witness data, however you want to call it, in the background process. And we should expose it as less as like if we can expose it just like as short as possible. So that's the way to be the most secure, like as secure as possible. So what's going to happen here? Uh, Let me just give you an overview of how code works. So if you look at the basic structure of code, you have this UI part, which is the like actual UI of the extension. You have the background, which is like the most interesting part for me and on which I worked the most. And you have these content scripts, which are, as we said, something that is injected in your page and serves as a bridge between front end of browser and background process. So here I'm not going to go a lot in the details. It can a lot of stuff is happening here, but I want to show you like how like just so you can feel that in this background process we have like like creating we are creating proof, and if you can see here we have this witness. So witness is what's actually private for us, and if you see here we have some identity parts that we don't want to show, and that if somebody takes these identity parts for you, it's exactly the same thing as someone taking the private key or your of your node for the Tronado cache. So we want to hide it, and so this witness never goes out of this extension. So if you look here, it lives in this background and it will never get out. So all the private data is held on the background, in the background process right there, and never gets out. So here we have a lot of now stuff regarding like identities. We have like mimics of MetaMask, like how we handle multiple requests and stuff like that. I think it's not the main part of this presentation, but some things that are like the most important is that we can handle a lot of protocols. One of my idea is also, and it should be really easy to integrate Tornado Cache with this, just as another protocol here, and we have like really nice way of communication between front ends and this background process. So the protocol itself is really abstract, and you can integrate as much as you like. And like if you have your own protocol, you can just take this code base and add your protocol with just core functionality, and everything should work. So you can also like connect to MetaMask. Uh, Also, I'm not gonna go into that part because I think it's not a part of the presentation, but you can create your identities. You can connect to our interapp on which Ramar works, which I think is also out of scope of this presentation. But yeah, we have a lot of features right now, and I think more of them coming. So another interesting part here is that I was also thinking like I was really new to this, so I was trying to figure out a lot of stuff how to do. And one of the concerns was like, what if, when you have this background process and you must store some data. So when you store the data, they must be stored on your computer, on your hard disk. And you must store all the secrets, identities, everything must be stored. So what if someone steals your computer? Like, if the data is on your disk and someone has your computer, he will be able to like take all your private keys, private data, and everything. And what is done? Like all the data on disk is stored in encrypt. It's encrypted, and the password is also not stored. So the only way to decrypt the data is to know the password you set the first time you create the extension. Okay, you can change it later, but like you have one password you set, and that's the only way how you can decrypt the data from disk, have it for some time in this background process, and when you log out or shut down, they will be like encrypted again and deleted from RAM. So you're completely secure on that way. And also we have the features similar to MetaMask, like this approval service, where it's not enough to connect everything. For every proof you want to create, you must approve it. And it should like really mimic the security of MetaMask and what's going on there. So there is a few stuff that you need to run, which I'm not gonna go through now. If someone wants to experiment, can ping us in a zkKit chat whenever. So what I wanted to show is how easy it is to set up a demo. And let's say like we for now have the Ireland and semaphore, but later we want like anybody can like ping us and we can integrate their own protocol into this. So uh, I just want to show you like this demo. So you want to have like semaphore application for some anonymous voting DAO, whatever, or we will be releasing the chat on top of Arlen really soon. And what you can do is you can just download the extension, see which protocol you want to use, and you need just to build the front end for it. So you really don't need to bother with any security, with any storage, caching, neither cryptography. All the functions are hidden and they're inside the ZK Keeper. It will do it for you. So everything you need to do is just to build the front end of your dApp as you like, and to use just like one simple button, like just one simple function to send all the public data to the ZK Keeper API calls. So here, like you can like call generate proof from I'm not gonna go in difference of this proof, but you can see that semaphore proof was generated successfully. So if I show you this page and how it looks and what's going on there, it's really simple HTML. So there is nothing regarding any of these protocols that you should know like in depth in cryptography. You can just integrate, create the voting app, create the chat app, create some DAO stuff or anything you like, and just imagine like having the Tornado cache and a lot of protocols here. You can just use the Tornado with simple interface again, deposit, withdraw, but your node will be really secure, and you will be able to get it, but it will never be shown in this like front end where malicious software can uh, inject the code and take it from you. So yes, this is really ugly now because this is just a simple demo of what can be done, and this is like used for a purpose of testing. But as you can see, like this identity commitment in our protocols is something similar to what's the public key in the like blockchain manner in MetaMask and stuff, and that's the public data which is visible, but secrets that are creating this identity commitment can never be seen. Neither here, neither in the front end. They're back there in the background process, staying secure. So you can have like multiple identities, create multiple wallets, change the uh, network you use, everything you would like. We should have feature for like to have the activity of what did you do with your identity, which proofs you were creating, and there is a lot of small features which are just making the UX better and making it similar to all other security extensions that we have now. But I think they're like out of the scope of this presentation or like not interesting in a way, not the core feature of the ZK Keeper. So uh, yes, I don't know, like if you have any questions, what else we can look for. But all in all, this was the short introduction to what we have in ZK Keeper. And I hope that after this, some people will ping us and maybe we can integrate more protocols into this. It will be really awesome. Or just like if someone wants to build that on top of it, we will also be very happy.
Yeah, thank you. This is a great intro. I feel like you're a natural presenter. I'd
No,
love.
yes, I would like just call if Omar, Blagoy, or Nasi if they're here, if they want to tell something about this,
Sounds awesome.
because like they're also the main part. Like they built really cool features and integrations on this, so uh, it's not all me. Also, Tsukino if he's here, I don't know.
Um, yeah, I saw Omar on the call earlier, but I don't see him now.
Yes, I also don't him now. Okay, no worries.
Okay.
Like, if anyone have a question, like for what's here is Blagoy. Blagoy,
Yeah,
wanna say something?
yeah. I just wanted to add. I'm not sure if you have mentioned that, like, we also plan to like add more features and like make the UX better. So, for example, like add like more identity management features and that kind of stuff, which we plan to do like in the next few weeks.
Yes, thank you. Like as I said, sorry, I'm a bit out of the loop of what's happening in the Keeper, but I think this is really a good project, and we did it from our own initiative, which is I think really cool. And yes, like we're open to questions now.
I have a question. uh, I remember first time I heard this ZKP Keeper project was from Omar when we talk about UI kit. So right now working on the UI kit for all the team to make UI easily. So I wonder how can we leverage the ZK keepers to a UI kit? If you know what I'm asking.
Okay, me and UI are two different worlds. Maybe Plugway have a better knowledge on that, what should be done.
So the question is like how we can apply UI kit on ZK Keeper, right?
Yep. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like the UI, I don't think is the greatest, so I think we'll need some help there. I don't, I haven't looked into UI kit and do not know like how that looks like. But like if we can get some kind of like UI design help, this I think that would be great.
Yeah, so I have a brief question about, I guess, creating private keys. So in zk-approve, we create a private key by having the user sign some data, there's some structured data, and then we take the hash of that as the private key. I'm just kind of wondering, how could we, or is that a good fit for integrating with zk-keeper? Because I imagine, or I know it's better
Yes.
to have a private key because then they could share it across machines.
Exactly. So we have like multiple strategies of creating the identities. The first one was like the most obvious one, to just have random bytes, which will create the secrets. And the thing that we have integrated, if you can still see my screen. So when you creating identity, I have nothing connected now. So sorry, like this is not complete demo. But when you want to create identity from interrep, that's what exactly will happen. So you have your wallet connected, and you will sign the message, and hash of that message with the nonce will generate your secret. So you can have deterministic value of your identity secrets, and you don't need to like if you want to transfer on another machine, it's deterministic. You don't need to like export it, save it somewhere secure on some flash, and then return it and then input it in another machine.
Yeah, cool. That's what I was wondering. Great. This looks like a cool product.
Yes, like if you see this random, if I just create it, it's like not connected to anything. But yeah, if I went like to create it with interrep, and I can choose provider like GitHub, Reddit, there is nonce of it, it will be deterministic. So yes.
What other kind of identity types do you support in that menu?
So for now, I think we just have this interrep identity and random. But yeah, as I said, like my idea was to have like just to have input from people, so we can have like real private keys, we can have like tornado nodes, we can have like all different kind of private keys. Like in a sense, like your identity is actually private key, so we can have all type of private keys, and which can be used in the similar manner. So I know that I was like looking at the zcopper code, and I know that you have your own wallet, if I'm not wrong.
Yep.
So it can be nice if we can integrate it in one big, just, it can be cool.
Yeah, just like a general layer 2 key management. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
Sorry, I joined a bit late. What is Web2 provider do?
I think like if Omar here, he will give you a like better introduction to that. So it has nothing to do with ZK Keeper, neither Semaphore, neither Ireland. It's completely interrupts interrupting, where you want to join some group. And in order to join some group, you must have like a verified Twitter, GitHub, Reddit, or any other like Web2 provider account, where we have like strategies how to calculate your like reputation. So imagine like we say, in order to join this group for voting or anything else, you must have some Twitter reputation which exceeds some threshold, which means you have enough followers, enough tweets, enough retweets, enough likes, and all kind of stuff which can build your reputation, so that you have again your real identity, like you are the like one person, so that you cannot join and like Sybil attack the protocol with multiple random identities.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that explains clearly. Thank you.
No worries. No, we still haven't deployed it. We are actually like the Nasi and Plagoy are finishing latest checks on integration with RLN chat, and after that and some UI UI stuff, I think it can be ready to be pushed on to be downloaded on everyone's machine, as like from the Google Store.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. Any other feedback, questions?
And sorry, if I have a new application, like a new ZK application, and that needs a new identity format, how do I add to ZK Keeper?
So when you want to have like new application which relies on different protocol or like identity, like can you just give me a better picture of when you say you have new type of identity, what that means?
Let's say okay, let's say I have a new ZKPP and it needs identity. It needs user to keep a secret value and also another authentication of a very like a social media website that nobody use. And then so let's say if I want to create the identity for a user to can I like specify a format, or I have to submit a pull request to the ZK keeper?
Yes, I would like welcome any pull requests and also to help you. So just to give you a quick overlook, we have this our package for identity management, where identities. Okay, sorry, you wanted to send something and I interrupted you. Can you just please continue?
Yeah. So sorry. My question is more like how do a new application integrate into the ZK keeper? Like I assume you have a standard or the format for like the application to add fields or like the new application, like the identity format is hard coded and they have to like submit a change in the code base.
I see. Like so, our first goal was to like so that we like let's say personally integrate more protocols, but if I'm not wrong, what you're asking is about how will we handle something similar to MetaMask snaps. So I think we still don't have that good mechanism that someone just comes and changes something, but the whole extension is pretty much modular. So if you have some special use case you want to have, you can just make the PR and create your new scheme and new type on the structure that we have already. Like you will have a small amount of work to do. You will have just to add a few more types for like how your private data looks, and if you use other protocol, just to add how the proof and how the actually how the proof and what's the witness for that protocol.
Okay, I see your idea. Thank you.
Yes, like maybe there is a better solution for that, but we really started with like just enabling what we have for now. We still didn't think that far away to how to enable people to integrate their own protocols like in a live manner, if it's even possible. So yeah, we keep to security a lot. Like imagine where you have some provider from which you are getting the Merkle proofs and stuff like that. So you can constrain. Do you want to like whitelist that server to approve that server to get the data from and stuff like that? So because like you're directly like, let's say for the circumproofs and stuff like that, you have some witness circuit files which are hosted somewhere. So you're actually downloading that code into your machine. So like we should have some whitelisted list of servers that people at least trust that won't add some malicious file there and something like that.
I see. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yes.
With this page that you're displaying, can you re-explain the relationship it has to the browser extension?
Which page? Sorry, this
Um,
one? I'm
yeah,
showing.
with semaphore and RLN on the left.
Yeah, of course, of course. So you can see that here, like if I go to the sources, we have this ZK Keeper, which has some injected JavaScript content, which enables this front end page to communicate with the background page. Okay, so the background page is the one which stores the private data, witnesses, and generates proof. So in MetaMask language, it hides private key and signs transactions for you, to say it as simple as possible. And here, if you want to develop your own app on top of the protocols that we are supporting, you can just create the simple front end for it and just specify one function which sends all the public data in order that the valid proof can be generated. So you don't need to download any libraries for handling the protocol. You don't need to care about cryptography, security, where you store data, how you handle it. The extension will do everything for you. You just need to create the simple front end. So if you see this, there is no state in this front end. It's just the simple button, which, okay, for now takes two random strings, but imagine that you're sending some vote here or you're chatting. So you will have some text input here when you will say, hi, everyone, and you will just say generate proof. Extension will generate proof, you will approve it, and your proof will be returned in the browser. So nobody from that proof, nobody can deduce, because like it's zero knowledge, your secret data. Did it clarify the stuff?
Yeah. And I guess I'm also curious, do you imagine more people interacting with this as like iterating their own versions off of what you've already done, or installing the browser extension that you've created once it's ready for them?
I still haven't think about it, and I think neither of us who are like on this, but I think that this like presentation is really good way to start discussing on it. Like if the people have their own projects, how we can help, how we can integrate. Should they make like the clone this repository and change it a bit to support theirs, or should we add more protocols into this code base? Like I'm really open to everything, and I'm really unexperienced with this, so all advices and opinions are really welcome.
Cool. Yeah, I'd love to know if anyone on the call, if they're thinking about how this could relate to a project they're working on.
Yes, it will be really cool.
Yeah, I mean, like I already said, we can definitely use this with zk-approved.
It will be really awesome if you want to. We can like reschedule another call to talk about it, because it will be a bit of spam to touch it right now.
Yeah.
About like that particular integration, but I can see we are like managing to do it. Yeah, and there is trial saying zcopper plus zkkeeper. Yeah, I'm really happy. Like I really admire the zcopper project. Like I had a chance to be on that like for 2 weeks. I didn't do any code, but just was learning, and yeah, that's the one of the best projects I saw. So I will be really grateful if we can do anything together.
I'm just kind of interested to know what was your biggest challenge when you developed this solution.
So yes, like the biggest challenge was to start, because I was just reading some chats of like Barry, Geoff, Tukino, and I don't know if, sorry if I'm missing someone, and I didn't know anything about how this works. So the hardest part was to like just figure out which pieces comes where, and like that's why Tsukino was really like helpful. He explained me how the basic architecture of the extension should work, and how we pass the messages through different processes. So yeah, that was the most challenging part, I think. Also, if someone wants to volunteer and try to integrate Tornado Cache into this, it will be really cool, because I'm really low with time in the last couple of weeks, months. But it should not be that hard at all. I think I already looked at it with someone. I think it was you, Justin. But yeah, I think it can like we can do it in really simple manner, and it can be cool.
And earlier in the call, you were talking about how malicious code can be injected, and like that as a value proposition to this. And I guess I'm curious, like, do you have any like anecdotal stories that relate to why it's important to work on solutions against that?
Yeah, I would say like I really don't have like personally, because like I'm just like 1 year after graduation and a few months in like all the cryptography stuff. But I know that like a lot of times like you can find malicious code in npm libraries. All times like there are some scripts which are trying to find the private data. Also like imagine like just if you have some random extension you're using for Chrome, like something totally unrelated to cryptography, which you will not think there is anything which will like steal your data. But actually there is just one simple function in that injected script which waits for you to like click deposit in Tornado. And imagine you're like depositing 100 Ethereums. So that's enough. Like yeah so yeah I don't I'm really sorry. I was also thinking of like creating the simple demo of how one can create how one can steal the Tornado Cash node, but I didn't have time to do it. But I think it should be like pretty clear. Just like when you have it in HTML, someone will just like do a simple regex and take it from HTML. Like that will be the whole function. So it should be really easy to do. And if you're careless, yes.
Yeah, that's clarifying. Thanks.
No worries.
Does anyone else have questions that they haven't had a chance to ask?
Seems like no. Okay, so like feel free to add any review to this presentation or like what you think about this later. And feel free to ping us in zkKit chat if you want to integrate, chat about this, or build some feature on top of this.
Awesome. Thanks so much for presenting today. It was really cool to learn
Thank you.
more about what you're working
And
on.
I'm really glad that a lot of people were there. So
Yeah.
looking forward to other presentations.
Same. Thanks everyone for joining the call today.
Yeah, thank everyone, and see you.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Great.
Thanks.
Take care.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.